Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِهِ عَلِيمًا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ. Any good that you do, the smallest amount of good that you do, Allah knows that as well. Don't belittle your good deeds. Don't think that anything is too small in the sight of Allah. Allah counted it. It counts for Him. And don't think, I'm doing these things, but no one's appreciating me. I hosted dinner the other day. I went and I prayed in the masjid. This person said this to me. I gave a loan to that person. I'm tired of all this. I do so much for other people. Allah knows. Nobody may appreciate you. That's why one of the names Allah paired with His name Al-Alim. Allah knows and He appreciates. Ash-Shakir, the one who appreciates. Because most of the time, people don't appreciate. Nor should we expect them to appreciate. Who can give me an ayah in the Quran where Allah tells us we should not expect people's thanks and their appreciation? The beginning of the verse, please, Shaykh. إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُرًا. Never underestimate anything you do and know that Allah appreciates it even if nobody is seeing you and nobody knows. The second thing is that Allah's name Al-Alim is a very comforting name. It gives you reassurance. When Yusuf alayhi salam leaves home, scholars say he left his house, his father's house, for 40 to 50 years. Imagine, he was 7 or 8 years old when he left home, and when his family is reunited with him, he's about 50 years old. Imagine. When he left home, he left the house of Yaqub alayhi salam. What are the last 2 words his father said to him? Who can tell me? Inna rabbaka Alīm and Al-Ḥakīm. The last thing this father tells his son, as he doesn't see him for 40 years, is know that Allah is Alim and Hakim, knowledgeable and wise. It may have been that these were the only names of Allah known to Yusuf alayhi salam, but it sustained him in the well. It sustained him in the palace. It sustained him when women were trying to seduce him. It sustained him in the prison. It sustained him as a minister, and it sustained him when he reunited with his parents. In Surah Yusuf, when he is left from his father. And the only thing he knows about Allah is these important things. Allah is knowledgeable and He is wise. This pair is very important. Alīm and Hakim. We'll come to that in a second. When Yusuf alayhi salam is seduced by a woman, by a group of women, and he's threatened, if you don't give in to what we want, you're going to be in trouble. Yusuf alayhi salam says, وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ ائْتُونِي بِهِ فلما جاءه الرسول قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم. The whole world, when Yusuf alayhi salam goes to prison, the marketing campaign, the campaign that goes out on the news, in the city, people are talking, is that he fell in love with her. Is that he did something wrong. That's what everybody thinks. So he is, with this rumor going around, he's stuck in prison. And when he's called back to the palace, oh, the king now has a dream, he needs someone to interpret the dream. We heard that you're quite good at this, come to the palace. He says to the servant, go back and ask the king to right the wrong that was done to me with these women. And then he says, my Lord is fully knowledgeable of what those women are doing. Imagine sitting in a prison for decades and decades, and it's not even due to a sin you committed. You were framed, and the only way he can get through every day in this dark cell is Allah knows what they did, and He will deal with them one day. And He does deal with them one day. And this is where Al-Alim comes in contact with Al-Hakim. Allah is the wise. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He is Alīm Hakim, He doesn't just know everything about us and what is best for us and what is going to hurt us and what is going to help us. He also knows the right time. He knows when to test you. He knows what test will break you and what test will make you. And that is why when you look at your life, you have to remember Allah is Alīm Hakim. When you are stuck, when you are in debt, when you are struggling, remember the one who put you in this situation knows you best, inside out. And He is the most wise. Don't relate to Allah's name Al-Alim without remembering Al-Hakim when it comes to your life. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you inside out. And that's why He puts you through certain situations in life. But know that Al-Alim is watching and He's hearing. And He knows and He's looking after you. How many a car accident Al-Alim protected you from? How many a situation you thought was good for you, but Al-Alim put you in a different situation, took you down a different path. He knew what was better. This is Al-Alim. Allah has said this is how the sun is going to move, and it's moving in exact motion. And then Allah says, that was the doing of the mighty, the knowledgeable. What does that mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how this universe works. The stars, the sun, the moon. As human beings discover space more and more, our minds are blown as to what lies beyond this universe. Al-Alim, He knows His creation. See, if you buy something from Gumtree today, used, second-hand, you're always going to run into a problem. One day something's going to go wrong with the product, and you're not going to have the instruction manual because it didn't come out of the box. And then you think, what am I going to do? You go onto Google, instruction manual for Sony X143 washing machine. Why are you looking for the instruction manual? Why don't you try and press some buttons, pull some plugs yourself? Because the manufacturer knows best about its product. And that's where you remember the words of Allah. Doesn't He know? The one who created us, the one who manufactured us, doesn't He know best about His product? When Allah wants us to make dua, He tells us, I hear and I know. Maryam alayhi salam, or rather the mother of Maryam alayhi salam. She's pregnant and she's expecting and she's about to give birth to a daughter. And she lifts her hands to Allah and she calls on Him. إذ قالت امرأة عمران رب إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا فتقبل مني. Oh Allah, I dedicate to you whatever is in my stomach. Sometimes you open a book, the first page is dedicated to my husband and wife and dog and fulan or allan. Yes, Maryam, Imratu Imran, she says, oh Allah, I dedicate this daughter to you, whatever is in my stomach. فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Oh Allah, accept this from me. You are the hearing and the knowing. If someone can hear you, they already know you. But Allah's name As-Sami' tells you, in the dark night, when everybody's sleeping, and you are crying and whispering to Allah, He hears your whisper. He hears you. Every time you speak to Him, He hears you. People may not hear you. You say, go away, don't bother me, it's too late. Why are you knocking on my door? It's 11 p.m. I don't want to hear your life story. Go away. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears, and He never turns away. We talked about Allah's name Al-Alim as the reassurance and the comfort in the times of difficulty. What Yusuf alayhi salam carried when he was being plotted against, when he was being tricked, when he was being seduced, he remembered, Inna Rabbi Alīm and Al-Ḥakīm. Allah is knowledgeable and Allah is wise. And we learned that Al-Alim is also the one who listens to your every request. So say something because He is listening. Imagine if I call someone and you pick up the phone and I'm just quiet. Sometimes you get voicemail and you listen to the voicemail and you just hear the car driving and doors slamming. Someone forgot and they left it on. And sometimes you get pocket dialed. You say, Assalamu alaikum. Hello? And you can just hear someone's driving, someone's doing something else. You think, Ya Shaykh, why did you call me if you're going to be quiet, if you're going to be doing something else? Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actively listening to us, waiting for us to speak to Him. We've called and we're quiet. Nothing comes out of us. We complain to human beings. We complain to others, or we don't say anything to Allah. Going back to Yaqub alayhi salam, the man who knows Allah is Al-Alim. He's patient because Allah is Al-Alim. He's willing because Allah is Al-Alim. When his sons ask him, when his sons trouble him, when they ditch his Yusuf alayhi salam, what does he say?